What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Business Buzz, where we focus on business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the two best airline stocks for you to be invested in right now. Currently, airline stocks on average are down 60% just in the last about a month and a half. And most airline companies will be facing bankruptcy by the end of May without a government bailout. Even Warren Buffett is selling a lot of his shares in his airline stocks like Delta and Southwest, which is shocking many people. Plane tickets are extremely cheap right now. And just as an example, a plane ticket from Philadelphia to Los Angeles, round trip, mind you, is less than $60. Of course, this can all be attributed to COVID-19 and the disastrous effects it's having on everyone. Of course, this is leading many to see opportunity in airline stocks right now, as they are just down huge. So they think that, well, it's going to go back up eventually, and maybe soon here, because analysts predict that there's going to be a slow, gradual recovery in the airline industry up to about 2021, so just 1 year from now. However, even when it's recovering and by next year, the revenues might still not be up to where they were. So guys, today we're going to be looking at two different airline stocks that you might want to consider investing in just due to their resiliency. We really think that they're going to tough it out through these, rough times, and we think that they're going to get their prices back to their sky high as they once were. But guys, before we get into these two stocks, make sure you guys go down, subscribe to our channel, and hit the thumbs up. Number one, American Airlines. If you know American Airlines, you know that they're definitely not a budget airline. They're definitely not a high-end airline per se, but if you know, and if you've ever tried to buy plane tickets, you know they're not cheap. So why wouldn't you want to invest in a budget airline right now? What's the problem with that? Well, that is the last thing that I would recommend for you guys to do. I would recommend investing in a stock like American Airlines because they are not cheap. Why, of course? Well, every plane ticket right now is extremely cheap. All these airline companies are drastically reducing their plane ticket prices just because they're so desperate to get somebody to fly. So the budget airlines, that's how they make all their sales, with their prices. So now that they've lost that, competitive edge for the most part, why would you go with a budget airline when you can get a better plane experience with somebody like American Airlines? Also, not to mention, businesses still need to fly right now. Essential businesses that, need to send their employees on sales meetings and things like that still need to fly. And most businesses don't use budget airlines. They use, like American Airlines. So that's why it's a great stock right now, because businesses still need to fly. So American Airlines is better. American Airlines just happened to take one of the biggest hits in the airline industry. And to be honest, it might not be over yet. Just like all of these airline stocks, we don't know how low they can go. They can potentially get a lot lower than this. However, they've already gone down quite a lot. Just a few months ago, they were at $28, $28.50. Today, they are at $9.50 a share. Absolutely amazing. Now, again, it could go down a lot worse than this, but it seems like a pretty good value right now. Number two, Hainan Airlines. You might be thinking, Hainan Airlines, what is that? And that's because it is not a U.S. airline. Yes, you're not going crazy because you've never heard of it. It is from China. That's right, America is not the only country whose economy has been hurt by this virus. China is also taking a bit of a tumble. Not as bad in their airline sector as the US, but they have been damaged by COVID-19. The reason I think a Chinese airline would be great to invest in right now is simply due to the fact that China really seems to be recovering very fast. There are very low amount of cases in China right now, and their economy is starting to recover. So I think these airlines are going to get back to their prices pretty quick here. The reason I went with Hainan Airlines in specific is because, again, it's not a budget airline. It's actually a 5-star airline, so it's a really nice one for China. Also, it is the 4th largest airline in China of their mainland. Their stock price currently sits at $1.57, and at the beginning of the year, it was at $1.74. Now, of course, this is a very volatile stock, probably due to the fact that it's such a low price. However, I think there is a lot of potential for a pretty decent amount of money to be made here. Now, of course, if you guys don't like investing in foreign markets and you just, you don't trust it, which of course I can understand, then don't invest in it. Also, if your brokerage doesn't support investing in foreign markets, you unfortunately won't be able to invest in this company. But again, American Airlines is a great choice for those of you who want to invest in the US markets. So guys, that about wraps up the 2 airline stocks that I think are a pretty good investment right now. Again, these stocks could go down, a lot more, but I think they're pretty good to invest in as of now because I do think that they'll recover. Might be a year or two before you start seeing a decent return, but I think once you do, it'll be a pretty big return. I think once these airlines start to recover, their prices are going to go really high, back to where they were. Now, if you guys aren't going to invest in one of these 2 stocks, but you still want to keep up with how the airline industry is doing during these weird times, you can check out a few different ETFs for airlines. In fact, the US Global Jets ETF is a great one to look at, just if you want to keep up to date with how the airline industry is doing at a time like this. Anyway, you guys, that about wraps up this video. I really hope you took something of value. Comment down below other airline stocks that you think are pretty good buys right now, or any video ideas for us to shoot. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, and I will see you guys next time.